podcast is going to be. Hello, everybody. Gamer CJ here. This is Gamer CJ podcast. Let me just put on my app here. I have another app called Map My Walk that I use whenever I'm walking. Just prefer to do the podcast. Prefer to do both. So right now, this is part 2 of my favorite bands, artists, and this is just going to be the rest stuff that I didn't include on the other one, and we're going to start off with my favorite Latin artists. The 3 biggest genres in Latin, well, 3 popular ones, mostly Dominican. It's got to be bachata, and it's got to be merengue. So real top of the list. There is a bachero called Anthony Santos from the Dominican Republic. Anthony Santos. He is the top-selling bachata singer. I am going to say that, but I will say that doesn't stop him from being my favorite singer. All of his 90s stuff are pretty good. If I had a choice for one, like, bachata singer, he is my favorite. I cannot speak Spanish that well, or certain words I cannot pronounce. So I'll just put the second one is La Batalla. I think it means the battle. It's really good. Essentially all of his records that he put out in the 90s. So like, what is it called? So like, going in my house and putting the nails away. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, essentially all those 90s albums. His first few albums are good. And I will say this. I love bachata and merengue, and most of those artists, Anthony included, include bachata in there. I mean, they can include merengue with the bachata. So it's not, because bachata and merengue are essentially similar. It's not like salsa. I'm not a big fan of that kind of music. But essentially you have La Batalla. I mean, you have C-O Cora Z-O-N, and then Buntino, which is good. Songs in there are really good. Like I said, I'm a fan of bachata, but I'm not a fan enough. It doesn't make me want to learn Spanish, I'll tell you that much. I just like it for the sound, and I like it the way it sounds. Basically the sound of it puts me in that sort of mood, I'm not a fan of it, don't get me wrong. I mean, anything he releases, essentially his first few albums, up to like 97, all those albums are my favorite. And then obviously he put out Viete, I think it's called. Crieste from 2013. Tropical music essentially is my favorite. Uh, you have Koji Awa. You have Como Te Voi uh, Dejar, Dejar. It's pretty good. That's probably my new favorite, next to La Chupadera and La Batala. Essentially any of his new albums that were released. Crieste from 2014. That's not really an album. It's more of a song. Um, but a lot of those songs essentially have merengue in them. So even though Wikipedia and those websites will not specifically state it's bachata, I mean merengue. If you're Dominican, you kind of know that. The genre for his first album is tropical. I don't know if I said this, but T Vasamora is a cover, I think. The name of the song, it's by Los Buques, I think it's called. It's Spanish music, but Anthony sent us to the version of that. Obviously, I think so. Uh, English means your prison. And then my second favorite bachata artist, or favorite like Latin or artist, is Aventura. My favorite, I mean, in gospel. So Aventura, basically the albums I like by them. I'm not a fan of the first one. I'm not a fan of all that stuff. So basically, right? I'm a big fan of Generation Next, which is pretty good. We Broke the Rules is probably my favorite. It has Obsession. See, with Latin music, that music, I'm more into the hits, essentially. When we get up the list and I show you other genres, I'll basically let you know, okay, that's why I like that artist the most. But essentially, these are essentially, you know what I mean? Essentially, that they are essentially my favorite. And then we're gonna get into other guys. I love Frank Reyes. I only like a couple of songs. Luis Vargas is okay. Like essentially anybody that sits in with Anthony Santos's sort of his group, him and Raul Rodriguez and Luis Vargas. Those are like his rivals and people that he allegedly didn't really get. I mean, not allegedly, they didn't get along with each other in real life. But then we're going to go into Don Omar. I'm going to say one thing really quick that pisses me off. You have to say Don Omar. But I'm American. Not American. I don't speak English. It's Don Omar, not Don Omar. You know what I'm saying? He was born in Puerto Rico. He's one of my favorite singers. He actually is my favorite singer. Oh. He is actually my favorite. The only reggaeton singer I'll actually legitimately listen to. His first album, Last Dawn, is pretty good. I tried to listen to The King of Kings. That's on Spotify. I might have to listen to that. But then you have The Last Dawn 2, which is my other favorite. So he's really not, like I said, but bachata music, merengue music, and then reggaeton. I listened to Zion and Lennox, that song, what's it called? with Daddy Yankee. That song with Daddy Yankee is pretty good. I forgot the name of it. It's Yo Yo, one of those. I listen to certain Latin music, and this is the whole thing about most of the music I listen to. Lyrics are one thing, but if it's singing in another language, if the music sounds good, I'm going to listen to it. I don't have to essentially learn how to speak. I don't have to learn how to speak another language to sort of enjoy the music. I mean, a lot of the artists I like, especially the heavy metal bands like Halloween and maybe like Stormworks as well, they grew up. I mean, you hear them in interviews; they don't speak English, but they're singing in English. You know what I mean? So I could definitely sing a bachata artist. I definitely do a cover of him because one, I like the music, but I'll also probably introduce the song in English. Like, you know what I mean? So that's the whole thing about bachata music, and that it's romantic. And in reality, yes, it is very romantic, but it's also very depressing. And it's not a traditional ballad, as like, for instance, maybe it is Europe, but Carried by Europe. Like that's my least favorite ballad. But if I have a friend from Dominican Republic, or two friends. One of my friends I went to school with who's Dominican, who his parents are both from the DR. He obviously knows how to speak Spanish, obviously. He does not like Anthony Santos. He does like Frank Reyes more, but okay. I mean, Frank Reyes is okay, but there's something about Anthony Santos that I like him the best. You know, him and Aventura, oh my God. That if you put on Aventura, oh my God, so freaking good. Oh my God. So freaking good. I love it. Alright, so now we're going to get out of that space, and now we're going to go into essential. Well, so these artists I know mostly from, basically any artist that predates like the 50s, or artists that, well, maybe even like any big band or traditional pop artist. I mostly listen to their songs, not so much their records or albums, but I still enjoy listening to them. One of them is Dean Martin, and I credit all it's sparking my interest in Dean Martin because of where I work at a place called Uncle Giuseppe's. Our store policy is the music that we play on the loudspeaker has to be Italian music or Ella Fitzgerald type, or Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. So a lot of Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra. Oh God, like Andrea Bocelli kind of music, like basically Italian singers. And I understand the whole Ella Fitzgerald part. It just fits in the era. I feel like it feels like I'm with one of my friends or even the people that make playlists. Like they just pick songs, not songs that they like necessarily. They just like screw around, screw and forget it. So maybe for me, that's probably why Dean Martin is mixed in with Ella Fitzgerald, even though Ella Fitzgerald technically is not Italian. Well, she's not Italian, but she's still a really good big band singer. I'll tell you one thing. I've always had a soft spot for big bands because it's not like Bing Crosby. It's not like that mellow stuff. Big band is really, really, and I'm serious about this. Big band hits, I mean, it's like any sort of jazz. Basically the jazz I like any sort of jazz. Like one of the smooth jazz, especially that you play Dean Martin, obviously, and his like Mambo Italiano. Uh, the one that I've heard a long time, thanks to my, you know, well, I think that's that one. When the moon hits you, I can't sing that. Essentially, I know the genres that I'm like. There are genres I essentially, and I'm true about this. There are genres that I actually have a soft spot for. What was I talking about? I'm sorry. I have either cold or allergies, so if I seem like my mind is not 100%, that really is the reason why. So basically, right, you have these genres. Or no, wait. But you have these songs by Dean Martin. Dean Martin, I like his voice better than Frank Sinatra. I mean, like I said, I don't know it that well. Frank Sinatra, I'm just going to say one thing, and this is about my 6th podcast draft that I keep on recording, because I usually have a habit of going off the rails when I'm talking about music, because music is one of those interests that I have a lot of opinions about as far as genres go. And for instance, Halloween, Merciful Fate, like these sort of genres, right? But as far as Dean Martin goes, those groups are timeless. So the debate really goes, who's the best from that era? A pure talent-wise, Dean Martin is the best. My grandmother probably is going to hear the podcast and go, well, Frank is better. I'm like, okay. Okay, Frank's a good singer. Don't get me wrong. Frank is an amazing singer. I love Frank. He's not my favorite singer. He's not. I mean, because in general, big band traditional pop isn't my favorite. But if it's on, I know who my favorites are. New York, New York. If you're a Yankees fan, you hear that all the time. You hear Sorrow. You hear My Way. You hear all that stuff. Just because I grew up on it and I enjoy it. Like, I consider myself sure to be a metalhead, but I'm like Michael Kiske from Halloween, and I admit this. If I was in a metal band, I wouldn't just listen to metal. I probably would listen to anything, essentially. The only real genre that I kind of don't really listen to enough is probably country, but I have reasons why I don't like country. I barely listen to any country. But Dean Martin has a song in Chicago. I think that's a country song. But old country. Like if you play Johnny Cash, I like Johnny Cash. Most people like Johnny Cash. I think too much people like Johnny Cash. And this is another debate I have. It's like the Nirvana, it's like the poser fan debate, or the fashion whatever. I mean, that's not something that I should really be making an opinion about, personally. And I know I'm on a podcast. I don't think anybody cares, personally. Well, I always love the question. I always like to ask, because I'm a music fan and I enjoy listening to certain artists. And I just like to know, are you a fan, or did you just have it? That's beside the point, really, at this point. Get it? Is the point? Yeah, I mean, Dean Martin, I like a little more Frank Sinatra, but Don Rickles is someone that I first heard on the, I think, David Letterman show. And because I grew up with David Letterman, I enjoyed David Letterman. David is one of those people that was a dear friend of Don Rickles. So I think one of his last shows he had Rickles on. So I looked him up. I kind of knew, oh, you're Mr. Potato Head. Okay. Him and Frank Sinatra had a very good relationship. He's friendly with all those guys. because they, it's just, if you know Don Rickles. So now, whenever I hear Frank Sinatra, I'm always like, is Rickles around? It's just kind of a joke that I have because I know both of them are dead, unfortunately. But literally, Don Rickles, he was an entertainer. Like, I don't consider him to be a comedian. He's an entertainer. If you watch his show, he sang, he told jokes, he roasted the crowd. Rickles is like the complete package. Like, if I was a stand-up comic, I'd probably do the same thing, but I'm only a vocalist. Like, I would do a Jim Brewer thing where I kind of do parody songs in front of an audience where people aren't going to like that. People are probably going to leave. They're probably going to go, yeah, okay, none of that. But yeah, anyway, Big Band isn't really my favorite, but because I embrace music pretty quickly. Most of my coworkers at work don't really like it, but if something is on and it's horrible, like if we were only listening to country music, I probably would scream. Country music, like one of the places I work at, we each take turns playing music. And there's one of my supervisors, they play music, they play one genre. Even though what I was told is that we're supposed to play a mix. Literally, country. Country music is good in short bursts. It's not something that I absolutely like. Like I prefer Leonard Skinner to be one of those bands. And I don't listen to them simply, like I didn't start listening to them on my own. I heard them from the radio, and then I just was like, okay, well, let me listen to this. I'm going to listen to this on my own. You know what I mean? And so all of Skinner's albums, essentially, up until like 77, most of the songs you hear on the radio. But I'm a deep cut guy. So getting into the country vein, really, and I don't consider the country, is Skinner. I love Leonard Skinner. I enjoy most of their stuff. I don't care what you say. Most of you guys probably don't. Well, I don't know if I explained this, but Zeppelin is one of my favorite groups. So from in Led Zeppelin 4, like the fourth Zeppelin record, they released Stairway to Heaven. Don't get me wrong, I like Stairway to Heaven a little bit. But if you want to talk about I don't compare them, but everyone's like, oh, Freebird's better. No, I like Freebird more. I don't know. There's something about the Van Zant brothers doing what they do. And it's good that they're sort of helping out. I think one of the Van Zant brothers is helping out. So yeah, as far as getting into the Southern Rock band, I enjoy Southern Rock. Skinner is amazing. It is like Judas Priest. I do not like Sweet Home Alabama because, that is a good song, but, Neil Young, who I kind of like General Rock, Neil Young is He kind of made fun of, so it's kind of a protest song. One of my favorite protest songs, though, is EMI by Pistols. That is one of my favorite protest songs. I know it's not considered protest, but come on, man. Good. It's understanding that you're defending against Alabama and the southern area, but come on, man. That's like a pop song compared to like Freebird and like Simple Man. Oh, so good, so good. I don't listen to that from time to time, but when I do, because I know it's something my dad likes. Uh, yeah, so now we're getting out of that vein. Now we're going to get more into rock, but sort of the heavy metal style of it. Now we're going to talk about bands that I really haven't listened to in like a really long time. Okay. Sorry, I thought I saw my neighbor. My neighbor has the same car on the Pilot. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's easy to walk, but at the same time, I get very distracted. Basically, getting back to this, there's these heavy metal bands I didn't talk about last time. Well, actually, no. Before I go into heavy metal, I'm going to talk about more popular artists that people seem to know about. I'm totally against modern hip hop, though I do like some Snoop Dogg. I like Biggie. That's mostly from the '90s. Like any hip hop from the '80s, I can essentially listen to. I like Run DMC, just not this. It's Tricky. That's the only song I don't like. Like play anything other by Run DMC, and I'm like, okay. Even the Aerosmith covers, See, certain songs, for me to like them, they have to hit me some way. It's Tricky's that song where I just don't like. You know what I mean? That's not the only song that they put out. Crush Groove is a good song. Suck MCs is a good song. The first two Run DMCs I like. But it's like if you talk about like Afrika Bambaataa, NWA, oh my gosh. I don't know if I ever talked about it, but with hip hop, essentially the stuff you could dance to. But I'm talking about like Afrika Bambaataa, Two Live Crew. I don't know if I did I talk about this last time? I don't even think I did. But if I did, you know, you guys can let me know. Basically, I used to love listening to NWA. They were amazing. Freaking amazing stuff. NWA is one of my favorite groups. Well, one of my favorite old school hip hop groups. And then I also got into Eazy-E. His record, Easy Does It. I think that's from '88. I thought NWA came out in '80. Like the Straight Outta Compton came out in 1987. I was wrong. That came out in '89, and Eazy-E's record came out in 1988. And it's just '88 was so good. I mean, you listen to Eazy-E's solo record. I think is it LL Cool J? So you know, a lot of artists came out with amazing records in that time. Thunder Steel by Riot, by the way, it's another heavy metal band. That's probably one of my favorite American heavy metal bands. And came out with Thunder Steel. Just the variety too. Priest came out with Ram It Down, one of my favorite Priest records. Maiden came out with 777 Sun, which is essentially where I draw the line with Maiden. Because I'm not interested in listening to any of their new stuff. I don't know. There's just something that tells me it's not going to be good. Even though I know people that are like, oh, Seventh Son, that's not shit. What did it used to? It used to end at Somewhere in Time. Because I would listen to all of the Bruce stuff, and then I realized I'm not a big Bruce Dickinson fan as a vocalist. I'm more of a Clive Burr, fan. So essentially now, in my main listening sessions, now it's just probably first two records with Di'Anno, love Paul Di'Anno, and then of course you have Somewhere in Time, or probably Power Slave. I really like Power Slave because there's one song that sounds a lot like Halloween or Power Metal-esque. The song is called The Duelist. I hear a lot of Halloween in that. Well, I mean, I hear a lot of not Halloween. I hear that Halloween influence from it because that came out in '84, and I believe it's something. There's so much better albums in it from '84 than there is. Essentially from that time period, there's really nothing to complain about at that moment, at this moment right now, about it. But yeah, Easy Does It from '88 is an amazing hip hop record. I love when hip hop, like old hip hop, tried to be edgy. It was edgy, and then now hip hop, because they used like my favorite cowbell of all time. They used keyboards. It's not all this computer crap. They actually used sampling and synth. Now they just use a freaking computer. Which, yeah, I mean, I get it, but it was 1988. It sounds different, and I enjoy that. What else do I love from that space? I love Egyptian Lover. Like I said, Two Live Crew is amazing. LL Cool J's okay. I mean, but as far as Two Live Crew goes, I used to listen to that all the time when I used to work on Sundays. I don't work on Sundays anymore. The crap is. I love Spotify. I just don't like how they have to get rid of stuff. So I'm gonna have to download it, and so I can have that listen to it at least on my phone. Because legitimately, I mean, I just like listening to it because it's good stuff to dance to, and I love listening to the lyrics. My hip hop obsession, especially old hip hop and rap or electro funk, oh my god. Early techno is amazing. I'm always at a soft spot for just techno music or old school EDM. I used to collect a lot of compilations when I was younger, because basically back in the day, my brain loves like heavy metal is one thing, but if I just want to chill, I love listening to ambient music, but also the intricacy of sort of like EDM music. There's an app, it's called BandLab, and I've been making up my own. I've been really making my own. What's it called? My own sort of beats and everything. I make up my own like ambient music. It's hard to make ambient music. I think it's called Further Arrow. It's like this genre of music. I love vaporwave, but that's the thing. I don't. The artists I essentially listen to are it's nostalgia core. Like I have a whole playlist because most of the artists I like do not have albums; they just put out songs. I love lo-fi. I love, like now, I just started listening to rock and metal. But once the weather starts to be cool, then I start to listen to it. I don't know if I touched on this, but as far as extreme metal goes, or black metal, I stick to one artist, Immortal. mostly their first couple albums. I don't like That Was in the North. I don't know, like Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism, and I forgot the next one, but Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism, I don't know if I ever expressed this to you. Sure, it's got the black metal and death metal vibes to it, but it's like a drummer's freaking masterpiece, legitimately. I don't know, but listen to Immortal's first album. Their drummer is just, oh my, with the fills and everything. Jesus Christ, I'm surprised no one's actually sampled it or done anything with that. Like, I would love to sample that drum part or make it up. Like, it's very, I consider Immortal's first album to be progressive black metal. Because progressive to me is a song that's very long. I don't consider Halloween to be progressive. I mean, I kind of consider the song Keeper 7 Keys from Keeper Part 2. That's kind of a progressive power metal song. It's long, a lot of changes, but of course, no one's gonna let Halloween know. No one's gonna tell Halloween, by the way, that's power progressive. Everyone's style. Man, that guy Michael Kiss is amazing. Yeah, I mean, essentially, right, you have to be into crazy music to like what I like. So yeah, I mean, and then Deicide's my favorite death metal band. A little Cannibal, but Deicide's my favorite death metal outfit. I do want to switch them up a little bit though, because this is just a little rant I have as far as it goes. If we are able to call Mercyful Fate black metal lyrically, I'm gonna let you know this is gonna be a rant, so I apologize if it gets off the rails, but I have to include this. Why are you calling Deicide death metal if they talk about Satan? Mercyful Fate talks about Satan. Okay? Running Wild talks about that. Why are you calling Mercyful Fate first play black metal if they sound like a heavy metal band, but Deicide can sing about Satan? Oh, but that's still death metal. And why is Immortal black metal? Musically, absolutely. Deicide is talking about that. How are they still death metal? They're probably the only death metal band that literally talks about, legitimately, they talk about frickin' Satan and how the only one. Morbid Angel's up like there, but Deicide's more abrasive, more just in your face. They're literally like Slayer and Venom. Somehow, but Venom's thrash metal, right? Right? Why are you calling? It's almost like when people get mad. Why are you misgendering me? I don't know. And this argument is crazy. Okay, it's already, all of that is rock. And I said this yesterday when I was doing a podcast before I had to end it because I was going too off the rails. All of it is rock. All of metal and everything. Can we just agree that's rock? I'm gonna say it straight up. But because Halloween doesn't sound like Chuck Berry anymore, we have to differentiate. Deicide sounds more lyrically like Venom and Bathory than they freaking do to Cannibal Corpse or like Obituary. So can't you just call them black metal or black and death metal? Like, I don't understand why you could just sit there and call, oh, they're just death metal. Then why the hell are you calling them? Like, literally, why are you calling Merciful Fate black metal? Oh, well, they're lyrically occultish. Do they sound like Venom? No. Get them out. Why are you calling Deicide death metal? Oh, well, they have the death metal screen. What's his name? All Glenn has to do is shriek and turn on the atmosphere. That's black metal, my friends. Literally, all you have to do is just make him shriek, turn the atmosphere down, keep the drums the way they are. That's black metal. They're more black metal than Immortal. They sound more like freaking Mayhem and more like freaking Bathory, more early Bathory before they got into the Viking metal stuff. So they're death metal? They don't talk about death. They really don't talk about death. I mean, David Vincent doesn't even streak like freaking or doesn't even do those vocals. And you know why? Can I say something? Black metal and crust punk, if you guys don't know what crust punk is, which I love hardcore punk. I got to get into that really quick because I'm trying to get in street. I mean, I don't know if I told you guys what my favorite punk bands are. I love the Extreme, the UK82. I love D-Beat. I love Doom. I love Craft. I love the high energy punk. Oh my god, I love that shit so much. Crossover, Method of Destruction, freaking Stormtroopers of Death. Oh god, that shit's so good. I love it so much. I literally love it so much. Black metal, so about atmosphere, and I know also about lyrics. So then, I never understood. You can just call Deicide, oh, but that's black metal, or that's death metal. Are they talking about death? Call it black metal. I mean, seriously. Running Wild, who I absolutely love, they're a power metal band. They're like a power speed metal band. They released their first album, partially earlier than Halloween. They went on to be pirate metal. I think it's Rolf. Oh, what's the lead singer's name? I forgot them. I haven't listened to Running Wild in a long time, but I remember what they sound like. Sure, they had some satanic, like but they weren't trying to be. Legitimately, they were considered black metal because of the lyrics. Nobody goes in and just says, "Nah, you're not black. No, you're black metal." The only reason Merciful Fate is considered black metal is because of the occultish nature of the music. But then isn't Slayer black metal because of the way they look? Like genre debates, I mean, no one ever says that. You know what? Let's change our mind. You know what? We're actually black metal. You know what? Let's be black metal. I don't understand why Merciful Fate's allowed to just be called black metal, and that's fine. The atmosphere, call them black metal. I agree with it. Atmosphere-wise, oh my god. Merciful Fate's black metal, legitimately. Most people that I knew that like metal like Merciful Fate because they're a good ass band. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, they sound great. Charlotte, so I'm just gonna get my dog water. Merciful Fate. Do you want any more? Do you want any more? Oh, you're good for now. Yeah, I mean, look, Merciful Fate. They don't sound anything like that. They sound more like a freaking Scorpions, Wishbone Ash kind of thing. Like early Scorpions. Wishbone Ash is one of my favorite British like progressive rock bands. Just like their first couple albums. Argus is my favorite. Most people agree that Argus is a great album. Most people don't know them for some reason. But one of my uncles, my dad's brother, he probably would know Wishbone Ash. So, I mean, essentially, right, with Wishbone, or for his Merciful Fate, they're talking, sorry. Merciful Fate is essentially just talking about, satanic stuff. These guys talking about that stuff all the time. They're probably more extreme in the anti-Christian lyrics than Merciful Fate is. And they sound heavy too. How are they still death metal? Like, I don't understand. Merciful Fate is not death metal. They are black metal. Or maybe even Black in Death. Black metal for the lyrics, death metal for the sound. And death metal and black metal are very, very similar in the lyrical in the atmosphere. But basically, what Immortal sounds like to me, and I love Immortal. I was studying it before. You listen to Demonaz's guitar tone. Oh my God, it's intense. You slow it down, it becomes doom metal. Doom metal is one of those genres too that I absolutely love, but I don't really listen to it that much. I love Epic Doom. Candlemass is pretty good. I love Epitus, Doomatus, I'm just going to get in, but we're all in the extreme metal. So, Epicus, Doomatus, Metallicus is an amazing record. Doom metal is very progressive, and I enjoy it. Saint Vitus is one of my all-time favorites. But the best one is Born Too Late. I just love Scott Wano Weicker. Like, listen, Scott Regers is an amazing vocalist. But Wano, especially on Born Too Late and Mourning for Cries, I mean, he just, oh my God. And I was skeptical. I was like, that's not their best. You literally listen to it. Oh my God. Armando Acosta, by the way, is one of my favorite drummers. After that guy died, they were just like, oh. They just said screw you to him. He was an amazing drummer. I play drums too. I love drummers that literally just they give feeling to the. I mean, he was always their drummer. I'm pretty sure he never left. Literally, Armando's amazing. He's got Bill Ward-esque. Like, if I think of a good doom metal band, they have to have Bill Ward, and they have to have some sort of technicality. So essentially, and I'm honest with you about this, I'm a big Led Zeppelin fan. A good drummer has to sound like Bonham, and has to be very, like, they literally have to be good. Like, doom metal is not just, I love doom metal. I mean, I love Raven Bizarre, but the doom metal is the best is when a drummer adds fills. Because a good doom metal band is Atmosphere of Sabbath, and also doom metal is, I'm serious, doom metal is the best when it has fills. Because essentially, like, I mean, you're copying Bill Ward, and Bill Ward is a very good metal drummer, very good rock drummer. I mean, I even consider Sereth Ungol to be up there. But I mean, they're power metal, power doom. I really, really like. Oh God. Oh, Warning. Strength the Dream. It's very emotional. Doom metal to me, it's that emotional. Oh my God. Watch from a distance is so good. Literally, if I listen to doom metal and I'm feeling emotional about it, it's done its job. It really has done its job. Oh my God, I do have to start listening to that, and I usually listen to doom metal when the weather starts to get a little on the cooler side. I mean, I am going to do a podcast with you when Halloween releases their new record, because I didn't review the Halloween self-titled in 2021, but when Halloween's new album comes out, I'm going to review that, because, but let's just say that, like, I don't, like, doom metal to me is very fall and winter, but lately I've just been closed-minded as far as what I want to listen to. I'm just going to say something straight up because now we're getting into seasons now. If there's one album I'll listen to during Christmas time, and it is Christmas album by Canned Heat. I'm a big blues guy. That's why I kind of like doom metal, because doom metal and blues are very connected. I mean, the Rageaholic, who I absolutely love, Razorfist, he does Metal Mythos. He said it straight up, Ozzy's a blues singer. That's confirmation that doom metal is very blues-based. It's heavy and dirty, but because many purists is like, no, that's doom metal, folks. I consider it's more connected to stoner rock than anything. I mean, Electric Wizard. Listen, I don't smoke. I'm just going to say this too. I'm going to get more into doom. Electric Wizard, Dope Throne, oh my God. Sometimes I'll listen to that and I'll just be like, it needs to be heavier. Doom metal, I said this before, I thought this before. Doom metal, black metal and death metal are heavy. Mm-mm. Doom metal, stoner metal, that is the top. If you could feel it, it's done its job, folks. It has done its freaking job. Doom metal, I mean, look. I don't want to sound closed-minded. I love it. Doom metal is the freaking best. It's the best for a reason. It's like psychedelic music. Trouble, like I said, Trouble used to be my favorite. Or not as I said that, but Trouble is one of my favorites. Eric Wagner, God rest his soul. I think The Skull in 1987 is their best. Well, I think the album from 1985 and 1987 are the best. They're considered Christian doom, which to me is fair enough. But Eric sounds a lot like Ozzy. Oh my God, he literally sounds like Ozzy Osbourne. It's amazing. I recorded vocal-only tracks where I hum onto them back during the pandemic. They really had nothing better to do. There was a song called Thunder and Lightning that combines Eric's vocals with Ozzy's vocals. The problem is, I can get the drumming and the vocals done. I just don't have anyone to play bass and guitar. Other than that, would have been a good song to do, but I don't know a drummer or a vocalist. I can literally just record it on my phone. But one of my friends told me that that's what Michael Jackson does. Speaking of Michael Jackson, I don't listen to him anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, what time is it? I know most of you guys have been wanting this podcast. Just me rambling, but essentially, right? It's super hot for my dog. Super hot for me, but oh yeah. So take the easy way home. Anyway, as I was saying, like, sorry, 55 minutes. So yeah, I mean, those are my favorite genres, favorite bands, but I can pretty much listen to anything. Oh, I'm going to do a rant really quick. I'm going to start country music. Modern country music is the most unoriginal. I know people most will say that about rock and heavy metal. The new wave of American heavy metal, I agree to an extent, but I know plenty of people that saw Zach Bryan in concert. No offense, but are you sure that you like him? Are you sure that you love Zach Bryan and just being a follower? Every single person that I see, anywhere. Oh, we got a Dominican. No, sorry, I'm just kidding. I love doing the accent. Hey, Lou, we got a Latino. Please don't hate me for that. I'm just trying to do an impression. Whenever I see anybody that's Latino, I love to do an impersonation. But listen, they talk on the phone like me. But surprisingly, it's not a woman. Because, no offense, I love Dominican women. But you can tell, or just women in general, Latino women, you can tell where they're from because of the way that how fast they talk. Anyway, forget that. Please don't hate me. God damn it, it's hot. Legitimately. What was I gonna say? I'm sorry. Oh, like Zach Bryan. I hear a couple of songs. Morgan Wallen. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know that song "Cowgirls"? That's not country. That's country pop. You hear that song "Cowgirls" and you're like, oh, it's a country song, and then you hear him using not a real band, but a hip hop beats. You're not country. Jelly Roll sucks. I know people that love him. Like, dude, literally, he's not even that good. That's just I'm just against it. Like play Johnny Cash. Don't go, you know what, I always like country music. The country getup is cowboy boots. Come on, man. If I ever went to a country group concert, like let's say I had a friend that said, "Oh, I got tickets to Zach Bryan. We should go see him." I would not wear country boots. Hell no. And I swear, had someone tells me, "You got to wear your country boots." I'm like, "Hell no, bro. I'm not even there. I just want to check him out." But then again, that's not how I would check on an artist. I would literally not check on an artist by going to their concert. Now, if there's an artist I like that's opening up for a group, I'll go, "Oh yeah, right, he's good." That feels great. So yeah, basically this is the end of the podcast, which is Favorite Bands Part 2. I gotta stop talking. I'm starting to dehydrate a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed your podcast. I am fine. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Please don't wipe me up. Why are you making fun of people? I don't know, man. What are you talking about? Why are you talking like that, man? Come on, stop it, man. Stop it. All right, bye. Talk to you soon.